Hey, happy Sunday. I already had a teeny tiny glitch with the internet, so I hope that is not a sign of things to come. But happy Sunday anyway. Today is Sunday, September the 24th. And if you're watching this tonight, then you are here with us live. And if you are not watching this on Sunday, September the 24th, then you're watching the replay. So as usual, I have to go through my little list of details. And the first one is that this is, again, if it's Sunday, September the 24th, hey Sheila, hey Shanna, and hey Rose, then you are watching this live, and I will be talking to people like I am doing right now. We actually had somebody last week complain during the live chat, hey Melissa, and hey Kim, to complain during the live chat that I was talking to people. She wanted me to get on with it. Well, that isn't the point of this. The point of this is for me to talk to you and you to talk to me. Hey Cheryl, how are you? Oh, and Cheryl, you got here before Sally. So I'll let you fuss at her. Hey Sonia, hey Wendy, hey Kim, hey Linda. So yeah, so this is a live chat and I'm gonna be talking to you all. So if you're not here for the live chat, if you're here for me to get with it, like the lady was last week, you need to move on to something else. Hey Katie, hey Debbie, hey Tracy, because I'm gonna be saying hi a lot. Hey Sybil. So you all know my other, if you've been here a few times, then you know my other little things that I have to say. Hey Betty and Betty, that is so funny. Last week it was Dueling Kims, this week it's Dueling Betty's. We had a Betty and then another Betty. Hey Tedders, hey Pat, and hey Casey. Oh, and Casey has visitors tonight. So hey Shirley, hey Margaret. Casey is actually, they have moved into the house, or they're in the process of moving into the house. For those of you who've been following the pregnancy, I started to say saga, it's not really a saga, but anyway, the pregnancy journey. And so yeah, so they had some friends over to help them paint the nursery tonight. Hey Lisa. Oh, and thank you. Thank you. Lisa says I look beautiful. And since y'all can't, well, I guess y'all can see her comments, but anyway, if you're watching this on YouTube later, you can't. So anyway, but they got the nursery painted today, I think. Is that what y'all got done today, Casey? But anyway, so my things that I have to say at the beginning. It's a live chat. I'm going to be talking to people. If you're not here for the live chat and you don't want to hear me talking to people, move along. Hey, Cynthia, because it's going to happen. And I am not a professionally trained Weight Watchers leader, and I am not paid by, endorsed by, or anything else by Weight Watchers. I just love it, and that is why I am here, and I just love doing these, and I'm more than happy to do them for you without being compensated by Weight Watchers. I'm just happy that you all attend. It actually does make me very happy when you all attend. It excites me very much. Hey Pat and hey Beth. Also, if you want to watch these later, you can watch them on Facebook, where we are now, or you can watch them on my blog, www.IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. And just in case Casey's not here, if somebody could just type that in the notes, that would be great. I promise I will get the transcripts up. I just realized, and hey, Kim got 6 blue dots this week. Awesome. And we'll talk about those here in just a second. But I just realized I never hit post on last week's transcripts, so they're still sitting there in limbo. They're still sitting there in, it's not called pending, but anyway, whatever the limbo thing is. And thank you, Sybil, for posting that. Anyway, it's still in that draft. It's still in draft. I never hit publish. So anyway, and Lisa says, I love how you were so polite when schooling people. Thank you. I try to be. I try not to be mean. Hey Tracy, so glad you made it this week. And let's see. And you can watch them on YouTube. And that's just youtube.com/IfYouHaveAnEgg. If you watch them on YouTube, please, 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 pretty please, remember to like, share, comment, and especially subscribe, because we're down to like, I think 240 something now before we hit this magical 1,000. And I don't know if like the heavens are going to open and balloons are going to come down, or what's going to happen. I don't know what happens when we hit 1,000, but it sounds like some other portals open up for us. Don't know if it's going to be exciting or not, but we're going to shoot for it anyway. So does anybody remember what we talked about last week? So we already had a couple of people post about their blue dots. So last week we talked about our blue dots, and I just want to remind everybody, I had a couple of people panic on me thinking that And hey Lisa, and Lisa says, you're amazing for taking time for us egglets. Yes, thank you, Lisa. I love it. Good. We've got some people saying blue dots. So yes, we talked about our blue dots last week, but I did have a couple of people panic on me and think that if they weren't getting their blue dots, that they were doing something wrong. Absolutely not. A reminder, the blue dots are no more than 3 less. Hey Sandra. No more than 3 less and no more than 7 more than whatever your daily points limit is. So if your daily points limit is 30, then you want to try, so to earn a blue dot, then you want to be, hey Kathy, and Kathy's going to Disney next week too. Maybe we'll run into you. But it's no more than 3 less and no more than 7 over, so whatever your daily points value allotment is. So if you had 30, it would be no less than 27 and no more than 37. So it would be 27 to 37, and you would earn a blue dot if you are on the app, on the Weight Watchers app, which by the way, mine did nothing. I had warned everybody that it was going to update on Friday, and then mine did nothing. I even tried to force it to update, and it did nothing. Anyway, so I don't know what all the hoopla-lolly was about. Maybe somebody can enlighten us, and y'all can put something here in the comments. But so anyway, so let's say you have a 30-point day. If you do 27 to 37, so that's no more than 3 under, no more than 7 over, you would earn a blue dot. And the blue dot is when you're doing either Weight Watchers online, or if you are doing e-tools, like if you go to meetings and you have added e-tools, then it'll show up a blue dot. And if we weren't on my phone, I'd be glad to show you how to see the blue dots. And Cheryl reminded me that blue dots don't work for anybody doing simply filling, and that's true. And the blue dots, literally, I don't want people to obsess about them. They are literally just it's just another little thing, you know, let's just call it a sticker, you know, so it's another little sticker. So Simply Filling girls, if you all stay, you know, in your, you know, within your, and I know you don't really have, well, you do have points, but if you stay in that, you know, if you have a great day, just give yourself a sticker. But anyway, so I just think it's a fun way, and obviously Weight Watchers thinks it's a fun way for us to keep track of, you know, how we're doing, because a lot of us, you know, we lose sight, you know, of how we're doing, and a little blue dot, you know, tells you a lot. And remember, the scale doesn't always tell you everything, but I don't want people to obsess about the blue dots. And I had some people that were like, oh, I only got 3 blue dots all week. I give up. I quit. That's not the point. That is not the point. And those of us that are on maintenance, it's really hard to get a blue dot because we get so many more points than, you know, than people that are still losing their weight, that it's hard to get enough points in. So I just went ahead and changed mine back so that I could play and get blue dots this week. And I got 6. So I got 6 blue dots out of 7 days, you know, so that was pretty good. I haven't been to my meeting yet. My meeting's on Tuesday, so we'll see. But that does not necessarily mean, and Sybil's right, Sybil says the scale is a big meanie. She's exactly right. And Donna wants to know, are the blue dots on the computer or just the phone app? It's only on the app, so it's on either the eTools version of the app or the, and thank you Cheryl for answering that for me, but it's on the eTools version of the app or just the Weight Watchers app if you're doing online only, but you do have to be on the app to be able to see the blue dots. But Sybil's exactly right. The scale, hey Christine, the scale, I'm glad you found us. Yay, good. She said she's been watching the videos, but she finally found us. But it is, anyway, the scale, yeah, don't pay so much attention to it. So, you know, if you had a great week, if you did well, you know, and you all know what my, you know, kind of what my little, how I know how I'm doing. As long as my Fitbit's loose, I don't get real wound up about it. My husband and I both noticed that our scale is either, I don't know if the battery's dying, I don't know if the scale's dying or what, but we're both suddenly up 2 pounds in one, you know, like just in one day. Well, we didn't both gain exactly 2 pounds in one day. So yeah, don't always count on the scale. And Melissa said she was going to post a screenshot from the app, but it doesn't look like she can post a picture in the live chat. Yeah, sorry, you can't. And if my iPad was working, I'd be happy to do it. But I tell you what, I'll post when it's time to do the transcripts, in the comments here, I will post a screenshot of, of what blue dots look like from the app. Or once we get done with the live chat, any of you can post that. So anyway, that's blue dots. So, so how many of you got at least one blue dot last week? So let's see thumbs ups. Hey, Georgianne. So if you got at least one blue dot, let's see thumbs ups. Let's see how many of you got at least one. And again, I don't want you to hang your entire week on, on blue dots. Okay, yeah, looks like quite a few people got blue dots. Is there anybody out there that got seven blue dots? Like, did you get a blue dot every single day this week? If you got a blue dot every single day this week, I want to see a heart. Surely to goodness, there's one of you, surely one of you got a blue dot every, oh, wow, 1, 2, 3. At least 3 of you. And if you're 4, 5, and somebody had a happy face, so they're just happy to be here. But if y'all are watching this later on YouTube, wow, Sybil she got blue dots every day. If you're watching this later on YouTube, so sorry, you can't see the thumbs ups and the hearts because you're watching it on YouTube. You're not watching it on Facebook Live. Awesome. Well, that is awesome, Sybil. Good, Sandra. Yeah, so y'all got blue dots every day this week. That is awesome. Great. So we're going to hop into our next topic. Who knows what the topic is for this week? How many of you, gosh, Kim did, Nancy did. There's a lot of you all that got blue dots every day. I'm impressed. I got it 6 days. Melissa did. Great. Yeah, I only did for 6 days, and a couple of those days I really, really had to milk it. Because again, when you're on, when you're on maintenance, you have to, I hate to say you have to add food, but that's also a touchy thing too. If I do too much, then I tend to get carried away. But I use my, usually I use those extra points. People ask me all the time, what do I use, those extra points for? And I usually use it for something that's real food, like skim milk. Don't get to drink that a whole lot, and I love it. Or real peanut butter. Cynthia got 6 days. Awesome. It is so awesome. So anyway, we talked about, this week at our meeting, we talked about, it's called Make Your Meetings Matter. And this is what the little book looks like. If you attended a meeting, you should have gotten one of these. If you don't attend a meeting, you can, but if you're doing Weight Watchers online, or if you've got eTools, you can download this in a PDF form. You just go to weightwatchers.com and log in. You have to log in as you. And you go to, let's see, I think you go down to the bottom and you go to meetings, and then there is a place you have to click about 3 times, but once you get to it, you can download this in a PDF format and you can print it out. Even if you went to a meeting, you can still download this in a PDF format and print it out, and I think you should, because this week I actually want you to participate in the little things in here where we're going to write some things in. And normally I tell you all not to bring a pen and paper, and I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to do that, right now. I don't want you to write any of these down right now. I just want y'all to listen. Yeah, you can write down later when when you're watching this again. Yeah, like any of y'all are watching this twice. But anyway, so when you watch it again, yes, I know this is backwards. The YouTube people do not need to remind me that this is backwards. Every week somebody says, your little thing was backwards, or we couldn't read it because it was backwards. I know it's backwards. I know, YouTube people, thank you. And thank you. I did have a couple of people actually make comments this last week on YouTube, which was exciting because nobody ever asks me questions on YouTube, ever. It's always here, which is great. I mean, I still enjoy y'all asking me questions here, but little YouTube is very lonely. No one ever asks it questions. Okay, so ask questions there. And remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Yeah, awesome. That'll help me keep doing those. So, and Cheryl says, we're all here listening. But trouble isn't here. Yeah. Well, maybe that's why everybody's doing such a good job of listening right now, Cheryl. But anyway, so if you go to a meeting, like next Tuesday, I will miss my meeting because we'll be here. And does everybody besides Kathy know what this is? Because Kathy, do you already have yours, or are you waiting and getting it when you get down there? But anyway, so next Tuesday we will miss. So next Tuesday I'll be, not this coming Tuesday, but the next Tuesday I will miss my meeting. And so I'll be downloading this. But when I get back, when I attend my meeting again the next week, she will still have some of these sitting out. So if you miss a week, always ask your leader for one. And, you know, or, yeah, and Diane's exactly right. She knows, yeah, and everybody knows where we're going. Everybody's starting to figure out where we're going. But anyway, so, yeah, so always grab one of these if you miss a meeting. And so this week is on Make Your Meetings Matter. So I have, let's see, oh yeah, okay, sorry. There's a whole nother discussion going on down here, but you girls that are having that sub discussion, y'all know what you're talking about, so I'm going to keep moving on. And yes, hey Vicki, good to see you. So everybody, yeah, and Debbie says, yes, Debbie says Magic Band, and she says, you know, love for the Mouse House, you know, yes, exactly right. So that reminds me, and I completely forgot to say something in the beginning, this coming Sunday, there will not be a live chat. We're thinking about maybe just popping in and saying hi. Oh, and for those of you who don't know what this is, that is and of course it's backwards and upside down. Well, I guess it can be backwards, but it is it's our Magic Bands for Disney World. So we leave in a week. How many hours is it until we leave? Are you listening to me? Okay, John must not be in the loft because he has been having he starts having a countdown of the days. He keeps having a countdown. He has a countdown of the day, how many days it is until we go to Disney again, starting like the day that we leave every single year. But now it's getting so close this year that we're down to the last hour. So we don't normally go during October. We normally go in December, but because Casey's pregnant, we are going in October this year. So we're going, you know, before the baby gets here. And bonus, we will find out the sex of the baby while we are at Disney. So I think Casey's wanting to pop in here maybe, I guess if they've told us what the sex of the baby is by Sunday night, I think she's wanting to pop in maybe and tell you all. So, okay, so I don't think Casey's here right now. I think they're gone. They have guests at the new house. It's a little tiny house. It's so cute. But anyway, they have guests over there helping them paint things. So everybody that wants Casey and Alan to tell us the sex of the baby before Sunday night so that we can have like a 5-minute chat next Sunday night to reveal the sex of the baby. If you want Casey to do that, send her a heart. So she'll know. So she'll know that y'all want to be part of the gender reveal. Maybe we could do that next Sunday night for the chat and just have like a 5-minute chat. But anyway, okay, so we got to get back to this. So weekly meetings. So who's heard this? So who's heard that we're better together? Oh, and Casey's getting lots of hearts, so maybe she will do the gender reveal then. But so who's heard better together, and where did that come from? I'll give you like 2 seconds. Yeah, that is the new motto that's the new Weight Watchers motto since we switched to Smart Points. It's called Smart Points Beyond, and then it says we are better together. And you know, I kind of laughed at that the first few times that I heard it, but it is exactly right. We are better together. And I'm going to make you sit through a 2-second Bible study, and that is to say, and I have to lean around my phone to read it, Ecclesiastes 4:9 says, 2 people are better than 1 because they get more done by working together. Who thinks that's true? Do you all think it's true that 2 people get more done? Cell phone signal, there you go. Okay, I'm back. So hopefully I am unfrozen now. No clue why that happened. No clue why that happened. Because I'm using my cell phone, not using the Wi-Fi because the Wi-Fi is too unpredictable. But anyway, so I'm back. If you're back with me, you know, do a thumbs up. I kept talking, so hopefully, oh yeah, and Cheryl said that Sally did it so that she could sneak in. Yeah, hardy har. Okay, if it ever does that, I will tell you all, I'll just keep talking. It used to freak me out when it did that, but I'll just keep talking because it'll keep recording it, and then if we don't come back live, it'll still be recorded, and we can always go back and watch it later, but hopefully it will not happen again. So anyway, so in case you missed it, that was Ecclesiastes 4:9. Two people are better than one because they get more done by working together. So who thinks that that is true, and why do you think that that's true? Why do you think that it's better, that two people are better together, and they get more work done together? So what if you were trying to lift something really heavy? So let's say that you it's fall. Let's say that you're planning on going Christmas tree shopping in the next 2 months. I know that's something, you know. Oh, and Wendy says my mouth is not going with the words. Sorry. I can't tell that on my phone. I can just see what's live on my phone. But anyway, if you were going to go pick up something big, so if you're going to go pick up something big like a Christmas tree, or if you were going to go pick up, you know, a couch. So like Casey and Ellen, you know, if they're going to go pick up a couch. Well, what do you think that, yeah, and Lisa says teamwork. So what do you think the chances are if you went and picked up a couch, that you were going to be able to get it moved where you wanted it to be moved without help? Probably not good. And Lisa says you have someone to lean on. That's exactly right. You do have somebody to lean on. So hopefully most of you are back with me because I want you to do something. Okay, I want everybody to stop. We're going to do a little experiment. So, and even if you're not live, I still want you to do this. So even if you're watching this next week or tomorrow or whatever, I want y'all to do this. And I hope it stops freezing because I want you all to do this. So I want everybody to turn sideways. So turn away from your phone, the monitor, your iPad, whatever it is. Turn away from it. And I want you to do this. Just put your hand, like make a flat hand, and put your hand straight out like this. Just put it straight out like that. And Melissa says it reminds her of the African proverb, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Melissa, I love that. We need to share that in the group. Definitely need to share that in the group. But anyway, so turn sideways, palm out, put your hand straight out, and just do like this. So push straight out. Okay. So what did that do? Did that do anything? Not really, just probably made people, if there's anybody at home, it probably made them stare at you and wonder what you're doing. The next thing I want you to do is take both arms, so you've got both hands up, turn sideways, both hands up, put them out, and pull it into your chest like this, sideways, away from your monitor, away from your screen. So do it like this. Did that do anything other than make people wonder what you were doing? They just thought, okay, what is she doing? Why are they doing that? That makes absolutely no sense to do that. I need a few of you to tell me that you're there before we go on to the next thing. So if you all are back, do some thumbs up so that I know that we're okay to move on to the next thing. Because see, it looks normal to me. I can't tell. I can't tell whether you all are there or not. It says that a lot of you all are there, but I can't tell. So we have at least 2 people. We have at least 3. Oh, okay. Okay, so there's several of you there. So everybody that's there, you already did your palms, you already did your palm straight out thing to the side, and you already did your arms out and like this, right? You already did that. Okay, now I want everybody to turn facing your phone, facing your you know, computer screen, facing your, you know, tablet, whatever you're watching on. So now that you all have done the one to the side, then I need you all, now I want you to face forward, and I want you to do the same thing. So remember the palm, the flat palm. Now I want you to do this. So everybody do that. So now what do you think you're doing? So you looked kind of silly doing it to the side, but now what are y'all doing? Just take your palm and go flat like this, and what do you think you're doing? Anybody? Anybody? I'm going to get a sip of water while y'all are thinking. So what did that look like? That's exactly right, Sybil. Yeah, I couldn't do that by myself. When I was turned around sideways, I just looked like an idiot, pushing my hand off to the side. But when we were turned around at the screen, yeah, right now there's 54 of us, and there will be more later. So there's 54 of us right now high-fiving each other. You need 2 people. You need 2 people to do a high five. Okay, what was the second one? We were turned around sideways, doing this. Looks like we're just doing some kind of weird I don't know, some kind of weird new dance move or something. Now turn around, face your camera, monitor, whatever. And Cheryl says she's pushing her laptop to the floor. Okay. Okay, now do the same thing. Both arms out and do this. So both arms out in front of you, and then do this. Yep, that's exactly right. Sybil's quick. She's a quick learner. Yep, that's exactly right. Now we're all hugging each other, which I know sounds hokey, but it's to prove a point, or it's to make a point. You can't give a hug by yourself. You can't high five by yourself, and you can't give a hug by yourself. It takes two people. It takes at least two people. So that's exactly right. Two people are better than one, and they do get more done by working together. Okay, so, and I love that African proverb. We're gonna have to make sure and get that one. Cheryl says she's pushing with one hand straight out. Goodness, Cheryl. Okay, so meetings. How many of you all do get, oh, and John's home, so that means the phone's ringing. Yay. Wonder who that is. Okay, we'll try not to participate in that conversation. But anyway, meetings, why are they important? And how many of you get to go? So how many of you get to attend a meeting? And thank you, Melissa's going to post that proverb after the meeting. But if you get to attend, and I say get to, if you're one of the lucky ones that gets to attend a meeting, do some thumbs ups, and then why do you think that they're important? I'll tell you why I think that they're important, and we are going to go over a few things in here in just a second. But I had some other stuff to talk about first. So why do you go? Why do you even attend a meeting? So there's the normal things. Weigh in. You weigh in at a meeting, right? Everybody that goes to a meeting, that's why you go, is to weigh in. There's accountability. And we'll talk about the online people. We'll talk about what to do for that in just a second. But Cindy's right. She says better accountability. That's exactly what I was getting ready to say, is accountability. So I do better. And Rose says accountability. Margaret says support. And Tedder says that I am her meeting. Thank you, Tedders. We'll talk about this in just a second. But yeah, focused and honest, accountability. Janet says accountability. Teresa says focused and honest. Wendy says motivating, hearing people's stories. So accountability. And thank you. Cheryl says I'm her meeting too. Thank you. Y'all are coming up with some great ideas. Great ideas, and we'll keep reading those off. But accountability. I know I do better, even though my leader is not judging me. I know she is not judging me. And I know that our sweet, sweet lady Debbie, who weighs us every week, she is not judging me. She's a Weight Watcher. My Weight Watchers leader is a Weight Watcher. There are other women who have gone down this same path as us, or men. I guess there are Weight Watcher men. Weight Watcher leader men, but I've never seen one. But they went down this same path. They have to weigh in. Did you all know that they have to weigh in? Your Weight Watchers leader has to weigh in every week in front of somebody else. Your Weight Watchers receptionist has to weigh in every week in front of somebody else. They have the same accountability. So trust me, they are not judging you. They are not judging you. They are just there to weigh you and to let you know how you did, because it's a number, and it's just a number that they have to write down in the book. But accountability, I know I do better. Oh, Margaret says she's had 2 male leaders. I've never seen a guy leader. But anyway, but I need that accountability, because even though I have a scale here, even though it's wrong the last 2 days, I have a scale here. I can weigh myself. I do judge how I'm doing, based on my Fitbit, but I still need the accountability of knowing that someone else knows how much I weighed or how I did. And sometimes I need to confess some sin to somebody. They're great ones. They're like priests. Things you tell them, they're not going around behind your back and saying, Kelly said that instead of having a half a cup of Halo Top, that this week she ate the whole pint and she wasn't sad about it at all. They're not doing that. Instead, they're going, oh, Kelly figured out that if you don't just eat a half a cup of Halo Top, if you eat the whole pint, it's only like 11 or 12 points. Yes, score. They're going through the same things we are. To celebrate, I know our group is really, really great to celebrate, and it makes me sad when I hear people that attend a meeting where they don't celebrate, or they're not, so good at the celebrations. Gwen celebrates everything, everything. I mean, you can get a Bravo sticker for breathing that day, and I don't mean it like that. Like if you, like if they had cookies at work and you just avoided that room, you just didn't go in that room at all, you get a Bravo sticker. If you, of course, you get stickers for your first 5 pounds. You get a sticker for each additional 5 pounds. You get charms, and we earn charms. But a lot of people go for, for the celebration, and I know some people that go only when it's time to celebrate. Which I think is a little sad, but we're going to talk about that as part of our, why the meetings are important. Karen and I, for years, used it as a social event. We went because it was a way to get away from the house. We got away from, husbands, kids, work. It was about some me time. It was just us time. Nobody else got to go. It was just me and her. It was like we had our own little meeting, but we used it for, for a social event. A lot of people bring and have new ideas. We had a couple of ladies in our meeting that didn't know what an air fryer was. Actually, we've had a bunch of people that didn't know what an air fryer was. Well, because you all have talked so much about air fryers, I think like 3 of them bought air fryers in the last 2 weeks, and they're loving them. They are absolutely loving them. But guess what? They wouldn't have known about them. They would have never ever known about them if we hadn't been sharing about the air fryers. And it looks like somebody has a problem with it, being locked, with the screen being locked up again. Sorry. All I know to tell you to do is to get out and, and get back in. But I'm going to keep going. To get new ideas. We've been talking about Sally's apple pies, in our meeting. We've been talking about the pumpkin pie yogurt. I didn't know where to get it, and guess what? We had people in our group that knew what stores in Knoxville had it. So I left the meeting immediately on Tuesday night because Lauren had made the mistake of telling me that they had it at our Kroger on Emory Road. So I left the meeting immediately on Tuesday night and went straight to that Kroger and bought the whole front row of them to make sure I got some. But see, I wouldn't have gotten that information if I hadn't been. I mean, I thought I had looked everywhere and couldn't find it, but I would never have found it unless I had attended my meeting. Did you ever think about the fact, though, that when you attend your meeting, though, that you might be helping somebody else? So there might be somebody else at your meeting that needs to hear where the pumpkin pie yogurt is. If Lauren hadn't been there Tuesday night, I still wouldn't have any. So thanks for being there Tuesday night, Lauren. Thank you for being there. You can be a support system for somebody else. We've got a couple of ladies in our group that they only have each other. They only have each other, and if they did not attend our group, I'm really not sure who else they would talk to about this. So, they need us, and they need us to be there. They need us to attend, and I never really thought about it that way. I thought I was attending for me, but they need us to be there. We can show somebody else that it really does work. We have, and Cheryl must be getting an air fryer because everybody's like, woo, Cheryl. But anyway, we can show somebody else that it really does work. So right now I'm talking to you Lifetime girls. So how many girls do we have on here that are Lifetime members? Whether you're at goal or not, how many do we have that are Lifetime members? Let's see some thumbs ups. Lifetimers, it's important that you go to meetings sometimes for you, but also for people that are there that are still losing their weight, because I'm serious, they need to know that it can be done, and they need to know that we're normal people. We're not all and I hate to pick on them, but we're not all 23-year-old Beachbody coaches. We're real moms, we're real wives, we're real, there's, guys, but we're real people that have, and some of us have chosen, higher goal weights than what Weight Watchers would have us do, or like I picked the highest number, that was in my range, but, but sometimes they just need to see somebody, and go, oh my gosh, that person made it to goal. This can be done. especially the new people, because they, especially the new people, because, they, sometimes think, I'm never going to get there. And if they can see somebody that made it, it's kind of like that old movie, Logan's Run. I don't even remember what year that's from, but that was, I thought was an awesome movie way back when I watched it the first 150 times. But Casey and I watched it again, I don't know, a couple of years ago. And yeah, Debbie's right. Real people eating real food in real life. Yes. But Casey and I went back and watched Logan's Run a couple of years ago because I kept going on and on and on about what an awesome movie it is and, whatever. Okay, that is the worst movie ever. It's awful. I mean, it is absolutely awful. But the thing is, everybody wants to get to Sanctuary in that movie. So everybody's trying to go to Sanctuary. Everybody's trying to, to get there because they heard that somebody made it. And then, Logan and the girl, they actually, make it, and they go back and get everybody. So we need to show people that it can be done and that we can make it. And also, everybody that was here a couple of weeks ago, you can be an oak tree for somebody. So you don't just need to be, and I've still got these up here, and it's so funny because look, this one's starting to crack open. I don't know why that's exciting to me, but that one's starting to crack open. And I'm thinking about planting it. So I don't know where because we live in a loft. Maybe I'll plant it in Casey's new yard. But yeah, so you can be an oak tree for somebody. Now, meetings. What makes you not attend? Oh, and Cindy says she has an older man at her meeting that he's a lifetimer and he's lost 185 pounds. You know what? If I went to a meeting where there was somebody there that had lost 185 pounds and they were on Lifetime, I would think I could do that. Would you not think that you could do that? I mean, yeah, I would go because I think I can do that. If this man can lose 185 pounds, I can do this. I can do this. And then let's see, Jennifer says, I was so humbled last week. A lady I sit by told me I am a huge inspiration to her. She said she tells everyone about me. I didn't realize I was inspiring others at the meeting. See, you can be an oak tree. Jennifer's an oak tree. So, okay, so what makes you not attend? Cheryl says her job keeps her from attending meetings, and that's one of the things I had on here. Work schedules, hectic schedules, kids going to soccer games and volleyball, and one kid's got soccer, one's got volleyball, and one's got something else. Sometimes that keeps people from going. And Debbie, I'm sorry, that is one of the things I had written down. Debbie says discouragement and criticism in meetings. I would highly recommend that if you are attending a meeting where you're finding things like that, discouragement and criticism, that you contact Weight Watchers International and let them know, because that would be very disappointing to them. Betty says she's shy and she doesn't like to be around people. Betty, we're going to get to you in just a second, because that is one of my, you still can have a meeting. You still can have, you can come together with other people. You just need one other person. High five or a hug. You just need one other person. So some of the things that I see that keep people from going that keep people from attending meetings, like a trip out of town. We will not be attending next Tuesday because I'm going on a trip out of town. Not on a normal trip out of town, I might try to find another meeting to attend, but I'm sorry, we're going to be at Disney World. Not going to a meeting. So sorry, not going to do it. A hectic schedule. Again, we talked about kids. Hectic schedule can keep you from attending meetings. This one used to be a big one for me. Your accountability buddy isn't going to be there. So if my accountability buddy is not going to be there, it's hard for me. Even though I want to go and I want to attend, sometimes I'll think, oh, Karen's not going to be there, and I don't know if Barbara's going to be there or not, so I may or may not go. So guess what? Now I have other people sitting at my table, so I don't have to have Karen or Barbara to go, or I just switch tables. If they're not there and I'm sitting at an empty table, I just get up and move to another table. You can do it. It can happen. They're not going to kill you or eat you. I'll tell you what I used to tell Casey all the time. They are not going to, kill you or eat you. If you had a bad week, how many of you, and Lauren, I sit at Lauren's table. So yeah, so if Karen and Barbara don't show up, don't worry about it, Lauren. Me and you, we're at that table. Yeah. And okay, so you had a bad week. So how many of you have ever skipped can still do thumbs ups, even though that doesn't feel like a thumbs up. But how many of you have ever skipped a week because you had a bad week? Thumbs up. I've done it. I've done it. I'm right here with you. Or you didn't want to face the scale. You knew you hadn't had a great week. You didn't want to face it, because you thought, oh, this is going to be, this was a disaster. I did eat all that the week after we get back from Disney. Now, do you think I'm going to Disney with the goal to lose weight? No. Am I going to Disney with the goal to stay the same weight? Yeah, probably not. Am I going to Disney with the goal to stay within about 3 pounds of where I am right now? Yes, that is my goal. So even though I'm obviously likely going to have a gain, then I'm still going to go. So we all have those weeks where we've had a bad week and we don't want to face the scale. Here's a very sad one. How many of you don't attend because you don't like your leader or you don't like the staff? Obviously, I don't have that issue. Don't have that issue at all. So, hey, Lynn. Yeah, because we love our leader. She is absolutely the best. But I also realize that not everybody has. I realize that not everybody has a Gwen. And yeah, Debbie is exactly right. I'll be walking. So when we're at Disney, oh, I forgot to tell you all. Let's see. Well, First of all, John and I went to the, I'm going to sidetrack for just a second. We went to the UT game yesterday, which was a disaster, an absolute disaster. But some of our friends had 2 extra skybox seats. So we were like, yeah, we're on it. But we walked from the loft, we walked to the game, and then we walked back from the game. And I think John and I got in 11,000 steps yesterday doing that. And then today, I got in 16,000. When we're at Disney, I'll have 20 plus thousand. It'll be over 20,000 steps every single day that we're at Disney. And Casey is back now, and she's going to have to go back now and see. Casey, somewhere back here, somewhere up here in the notes, there's hearts for you for a suggestion for a quick jump in next Sunday night, maybe like a 5-minute live chat. But anyway, so how many of you have left or don't attend your Weight Watchers meeting because you have a leader that you don't like, which is very sad. So do a thumbs up, even though that doesn't feel like a thumbs up. Do a thumbs up if you don't attend because you don't like your leader. But how many of you love your leader? Like we have, like Sandra says, she loves her leader, Julie. So how many of you are lucky enough to have an awesome and amazing leader and you love them? Do a heart for awesome and amazing leaders. And you all know, yeah, and Cheryl said she had to stop because of a bad leader. I'm serious. Contact Weight Watchers International. It's not pretty. It's not going to be fun. I'm not telling you to form a lynch mob and don't show up with, pitchforks and torches. But you need to let them know if they're. And I don't want to make this into a downer, thing. But this is so important that if you have the opportunity to go to a meeting, if you're close to a meeting, if you can attend a meeting, and if you're paying to attend a meeting, you need to be able to attend a meeting. So I'm so happy to see how many of you all are doing hearts for great leaders and people like Lisa says, my leader rocks. We love Gwen. So if the powers that be are here that can get Gwen a raise or I don't know, a gold star on the Hollywood Walk, Gwen deserves it. So anyway, okay, and then the last thing, we actually had some people in our group that said that they like coming to the meetings, but they were very honest and admitted that sometimes they have trouble coming to the meeting, they have trouble getting themselves to attend the meeting because they were jealous of other people's victory while they felt like they were turtling, that they were turtle. So being a turtle. So guys and gals, I just want to say it took me 24 years. 22 years. I watched other people gain and lose weight, or lose and then sometimes gain back weight, you know, but lose, celebrate, you know, hurrah, while I just kept putzing around. Because I know how to lose. I knew how to lose 20 pounds like that. I mean, I could lose 20 pounds like nobody's business, you know. So I'd get that first 5 pound sticker. I'd get you know, then I'd get my second 10, then I'd get, you know, 15, get 20, you know, whatever. And then turtle. It would be 0.2, none, you know, 0.2 down, 0, 0.2 up, 0.2, 0.2, 0.2, 0.2, 0.2, 0.2. And I got so irritated then, you know, and we've got some people in our group right now that are feeling that way. But they were honest, and I mean, I was so proud of them because they actually admitted it out loud that they were jealous of some, you know, a few people, you know, being able to celebrate, and they're sitting back at their table going, I haven't gotten a sticker yet. I didn't get the charm. I didn't make it here 6 out of 8 weeks, you know, so I didn't get the summer charm, and, you know, whatever, because they just feel like they're turtling. So let me say this in case you haven't heard me say this again or before. All those little 0.2s, all the little 0.2 losses. So yeah, I definitely felt like a turtle, felt like a snail. Wendy said she feels like a snail here. All of those 0.2s, if I had just accepted them and moved on at 0.2 a week, 0.2, that's this much, that much. But if I had kept them, do you know when I would have been at goal weight in 1998. This is 2017. I hit goal in 2014, December 2014. I wasted all that time because I would not accept that. Yes, Lynn says slow and steady wins the race. Yeah, because I would not accept that. I wasted all that time from 1998 until 2014 going 20 pounds, 20 pounds, 25 pounds, 20 pounds, you know, 22 pounds, 23 pounds, you know, whatever. Huge swings up and down, instead of just taking my little 0.2, 0.2, 0.2, 0.2, 0.2. So anyway, try not to be jealous of other people's victories. Try to celebrate with them, because I promise if you just keep on turtling along, then you get the victories too. Okay, what if, and this is not a hypothetical question, we had a lady join the group today who lives in the mountains of Turkey and can't attend a meeting. Literally, that is her reason she can't attend. She lives in the mountains in Turkey, and so she can't attend a meeting. Of course she can't attend a meeting. Of course she can't. So what do you do if you can't attend a meeting? So I didn't say meetings are important, but I didn't say your meeting had to be you and a whole bunch of other Weight Watchers at a physical Weight Watchers location. While I would love for that to be it, and I would love for you to be able to do that, if you can't, I would love for you to be able to physically find at least one other Weight Watcher in your area, if at all possible. And understand that may or may not happen, but if possible, my backup would be, if you cannot attend a meeting, my backup would be if you could find one other Weight Watcher or one other like-minded person, that you would find one other person, if you can. That can be your meeting. Y'all could meet for coffee one morning a week and talk about the weekly. Download your PDF of the weekly, and y'all could have your own little meeting. Y'all could walk and talk about the meeting. Y'all can do, you can do the activities. There's always activities inside, and y'all could do that. So my backup is, if you can find one other person, you can have. Whoop, there goes Dusty. You can have. Okay, baby. I think he woke up and fell out of the chair. Anyway, so we'll check on him in just a second, because he looks okay. He looks a little scattered, but he looks, otherwise okay. But anyway, so that would be my backup, is to find one other person. If you can't, our live chats can be your meeting. I am not telling you. Yeah, Betty says she's got 2 other coworkers that do Weight Watchers. Awesome. Meet for 5 minutes in the break room. You don't have to make it a 30-minute meeting. Nobody has to organize it. Nobody has to sit down and make out little forms to fill out. You don't have to take a scale to work and weigh each other. You don't have to go to those extremes if you don't want to. But do you all know what the original Weight Watchers meetings were? I think her name was it's like Jean Nietzsche or something like that. I can't remember exactly what her name is, but the original lady who started Weight Watchers, she had gone to her doctor or a dietitian or whatever, and they'd put her on this ridiculous plan and wanted her to do all this stuff, but there was no support group. There was nobody to support her. So she took all of the knowledge that she had gained, from that, and did some of her own research. Jean Nietzsche, and I know I'm not saying that right. Yeah, but thank you, Melissa, for saying that. But it's Jean Nietzsche, anyway. But whatever, she had some ladies come to her house, and they would exchange ideas, and I think they did weigh each other. But that's just really cool. I mean, I'm not suggesting necessarily that you take a scale to work unless y'all just have access to one, but that would be neat if you could find at least one other person, just to get with, just to touch base with, once a week. If not, our live chats. Hopefully, I'm not trying to make this take the place of your weekly meeting. I never want you to replace your Weight Watchers, life, your meeting, your leader, your materials, your online. I don't want you to replace any of that with these chats. I want the chat to be a supplement, for us to talk about Weight Watchery things or other things. Sometimes we talk about things that have nothing to do with Weight Watchers, like Disney and grandbabies and things like that. But yeah, you can come to these chats. So even though you all can only see me, you can only see me, I can see all your little faces down here. So if your profile for Facebook, and if you're watching this on YouTube, sorry, but on Facebook, I can see all of your little profile pictures here. So I can see who has husbands or wives in their profile picture. I can see who has cats or dogs. I can see all these little profile pictures. And I can talk to you, but you all are talking to each other. So you're having a meeting right now. All I'm doing is sitting here talking. I'm just talking like I do every week. But you all are having a meeting right now. So I saw you all answering questions for each other, and I see you all doing that over in the If You Have an Egg group. And if you haven't joined our If You Have an Egg group yet, please be patient with me. We had 800 and something requests yesterday, I think it was. And if people don't answer those 3 questions, I feel obligated to look at every single one of them to see if they're a real person. Although I have no idea why someone would want to infiltrate our group, our Weight Watchers group, but it just makes me nervous. So it takes me a little while. So pretty please, if you go to join our group, yeah, and Melissa said, wow, okay, so yesterday was over 800. I let about 400 of them in, just because they had answered the questions. The other 400 are waiting. They're waiting for me to have time to look at every single one of their profiles before I let them in. So if you are not already in our group and you're watching this later, and the link to the group will be on, in the transcripts for this, but it is a closed group, so that we are protected from prying eyes. People that shouldn't be in the group won't be in the group, and I don't put up with any, actual nonsense. So I'll shut you down pretty quick if we start any of that stuff that I see in other groups. But there's already over like 500 people more, asking for today. But if you're not already a member in the group, pretty please answer those 3 questions. And especially, like, even if you just answer all 3 questions, if you do not want to answer them, if you just answer, I watch your chats, I watch your chats, I watch your chats, then I'll know you watch my chats, and I'll assume you're a real person. They're not hard questions though. But anyway, so group, watching our live chats, you all are helping each other. So you all are having a meeting right now. It would be awesome if some of you all were near each other, like if you figured out if you were physically near each other, if you could get together again once a week, once a month, however often you can. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of groups on social media. Just again, be careful. Serious, there is a Weight Watchers group for everything. There's a Weight Watchers, or there's our group, the If You Have an Egg group. There's all kinds of recipe sharing groups. There's an air fryer group. There's an air fryer, I think they're over 50. I already got kicked out of that one. I'm really not sure why. I think because I talk too much. So if you're in one of those groups that I've already been kicked out of because I talk so much, please feel free to share some of our ideas there. But so I think there's a Weight Watchers over, there is a Weight Watchers over 50 group. I got kicked out of that one. There's a Weight Watchers Air Fryers over 50, kicked out. There's a Simply Feeling group, kicked out. And I'm not saying kicked out to scare you all. I'm just saying because I talk so much and because I share so much, I think in some groups that seems like, it seems like I might be selling something, but a lot of those groups are good. A lot of them are great. Just don't think because I'm not in it that I didn't not approve it, whatever, that it wasn't a good group. But there's our group, anyway, everything. I think there's a gluten-free group. I think there's a, there's a diabetic group. There is a, I mean, everything, anything and everything you could think of, you know, nursing moms. I mean, seriously, I think there's a group for everything. If you can't physically get to a meeting, go to one of the groups. I can't tell you how much support I get, and ideas. Somebody this last week, and I'm sorry I can't think who it was so that I could, you know, say the name on here, but somebody had made a pumpkin, it was like a baked pumpkin thing. I can't think what it was called. Anyway, I'm making that. I have everything here to make that. I am so making that. Well, I never would have thought of that if I hadn't been in the group. So find a group. And Lynn's part of the Weight Watchers over 50 and enjoys the group. Well, Lynn, I wish I could have stayed. I wish I could have stayed with you guys, but enjoy. It did seem like a really good group. So there's lots of things to do. So the homework that I have for you all for this week, if you got your book at your meeting, or if you're going to download it, I have about 3 minutes to explain to you what I want you to do. Debbie, it may have been the crustless pumpkin pie. Yeah, that may have been it. And Sally, Rose says Sally has some good recipes. She has posted some really good ones. The apple pie one, that one's still a tops. We talk about that every week in our meeting. Okay, so we already talked about what makes us not, yeah, I know. See, and Lynn, I think that's the thing. I'm not selling anything, but I think they think I'm selling something. Because I know what people think. They go, okay, well, she can't be doing that for free. Yeah, I'm doing it for free. Although my accountant said I may need to start writing off some of the mounds of groceries that I buy to supplement the recipes that I've been posting. Hold on a second. Okay, sorry about that. So anyway, so it's going to ask you, what are some of the reasons that things that would make you not attend. We already talked about that, but this is what I want you to do. I want you to do the little activity that's in here, and if you didn't get a weekly, or if you don't have any way to download it, I'm going to tell you what it says. So, oh yeah, and Melissa says that online has already switched to the new weekly. It changes overnight on Sunday morning, so always be sure and either print, go ahead and pre-print it out, or if you are attending meetings and you just missed one, go ahead and ask them, for another copy. So one of these things, what to do to bust the barriers of, not attending a meeting. Oh, and Rose says it's because I'm a caring person. I know. I just think it's funny. I used to get offended when I got kicked out, but now I just think it's funny, because I'm like, okay, if you don't want free information, then whatever. But anyway, so what to do to bust the barriers? And Wendy's still guessing. Was it pumpkin pudding cake? No, it wasn't a cake. It was like oh gosh, it was like some kind of a pumpkin quiche looking thing. I can't remember. Whatever it is, I literally have all the ingredients here, so I'm making it this week. But without even going to the store, I have all of the ingredients. Okay, so in the little activity, it says, and I want y'all to do this with a pen and a paper if you still have access to print this out, or if you have this, it says, I can't make my meeting because, and then it says, here's how I can solve it. So the first one is, I can't make my meeting because my babysitter canceled. How you can solve that is confirm 2 to 3 days ahead and have a backup. Work is crazy busy. No. schedule it in your calendar. If you go ahead and put it down, that's what Karen and I did. It's a scheduled event for us every Tuesday. People know not to sign me up for things. My work knows, don't sign me up to go to a job site. Don't sign me up to meet with a customer. Do not sign me up for anything on Tuesday night. That's my meeting night. My friend isn't going. Go by yourself or make plans to meet someone else. You can sit at another table. You will be okay. I promise you'll be okay. So what I wrote down was, what I'm working on for my list this week is, and thank you, Lynn says she refers to my If You Have an Egg recipes all the time. Thank you very much. What I wrote down for myself was, I'm going to make myself a list of things I attend only if, because I used to be, I attend only if it's not raining outside, or it's, let's see, I don't have anything better to do, or if Karen's going to be there. I attend only if Karen's going to be there. I attend only if somebody didn't invite me to something better, or whatever, attend that. Okay, and Cheryl says she's never seen any tables in meetings. Ours has tables because it's also paired as a Sunday school classroom. Just sit in a different chair, because I know all the chairs are together. So I'm changing all, or have been changing all of my attend only if. I attend only if I have time. I attend only if nobody else plans anything. I attend only if it's not storming outside or whatever. Oh, Jennifer says, I attend only if I know I lost. I've done it. I have done that. Yeah, I attend only if I had a good week. I attend only if, and actually I think I wrote a couple of them down, but yeah, I attend only if I had a good week, only if I already know that I have a loss, I attend only if I'm getting a charm, whatever. You all fill in some of those blanks. So what I want you to do is if you didn't get a weekly, and you don't have access to download it anymore, then just get a piece of paper and write down what were those things. Notice I said were, because they're in the past, because we've talked about them now, so they're in the past. So I attend only if, and fill in some of those things. Then I want you to make another list that says I attend even if. So now I attend even if Karen's not going to be there. I still attend. I attend even if I know I didn't have a loss, because I still need to go. I need to go and face the music, turn myself in, whatever you want to call it. I attend even if I know I'm going to have a gain. I attend even if it's storming outside. It's an indoor meeting. I just have to make it through the parking lot. I attend even if I have Dusty with me. Okay, I know that's not an option at every Weight Watchers meeting, but because John has been traveling so much, that one's been really iffy for me. Fortunately, everybody has been super thrilled to see him. Fortunately, knock on wood. So now I can say I attend even if I have Dusty with me. Okay, it is 9:03. So we are going to wrap this up. I want you all to come up with a list, and I want to see some of those lists. So I want to I want to hear some of your I attend even ifs. And so I just want you all to either comment here, comment in our group. I attend even if fill in the blank. Because I promise you, that's going to make you more likely to attend when the next time that happens. Next time you say, oh, it's storming outside, or or my friend's not going to be there, and then you'll go, oh wait, I wrote it down in the chat, or I wrote it down in the If You Have an Egg group that I would attend even if my friend was not going to be there. So you'll go, maybe you'll make a new friend. I would have never ever met Lauren if Karen and Barbara hadn't skipped one night. I wouldn't have met, we've got several new friends in the group that I wouldn't have met. Well, let's see if Dusty's still up here. Dusty, buddy, come here. Dusty, hello, come here. Dusty, come here. Oh my goodness, he is lazy bones tonight. Come here, come here. They want to see you. Come here, come here. Okay, I guess I'll have to go get him. Hold on just a second, please. Come here, buddy. Come on. Come on. No, oh, come here. You gonna come say goodnight to everybody? Okay. Sorry for that long pause. He did not want to say goodnight. Yeah, oh yeah, Lynn says I attend even if I don't feel good. Lauren says I attend even if I get stuck at work and I'm going to be late. They would rather have you there. Okay, so Dusty's going to tell everybody goodnight. He's already a sleepy dog. And he is, yeah, and Lauren says, yay, I'm glad we met. I'm glad we met too. And your little boy is adorable. So, anyway, next week, no real chat. Remember, everybody remember, no real chat next week. And Dusty won't even be here to do the chat. He will be in Orlando with us. He is staying at Best Friends Pet Resort, and we've got fingers crossed that Mr. Pickles is going to be there this year. That's one of his buddies from previous times. But yeah, so we will not be here next Sunday. Maybe if we can talk Casey into doing the gender reveal next Sunday night, or if they've already revealed it, if we can talk her into letting us pop in for 5 minutes just to let y'all know, then we'll do that. But otherwise, no real chat, no hour-long chat. So you all are going to have to be your own meeting next week. I want to hear that y'all were talking to each other next week when I'm not here to do it. So anyway, everybody have an awesome next 2 weeks. Keep those I attend even if comments coming up. And remember to check back if you want to join the group. Answer the 3 questions, or you're going to be stuck with those other hundreds of people that are waiting on me to have time to check. You can find the transcripts later at www.ifyouhaveanegg.com. YouTube is youtube.com/ifyouhaveanegg. And Casey says, wait, what am I getting signed up for? Casey, I told you, you got to go back up in the notes to find out what you're getting signed up for. But anyway, everybody have an awesome next 2 weeks. And and I'll be still be posting some on here while we're out of town. Now we're still here this week, but after we go out of town, I'll still be posting some. But if you want to keep up with all of the Baby at Disney shenanigans, then if you go to Instagram, because we'll always post on Instagram, always. But if you go to Instagram and search If You Have an Egg, or just at If You Have an Egg, then you can keep up with all of the, baby stuff at Milligan, the baby Bohannon and Milligan stuff at Disney. But anyway, okay, good night, everybody. I'll talk to you in a couple of weeks. I'll still see you on the If You Have an Egg group, but then we leave Saturday. So see you in a couple of weeks. Everybody have a good time and make your meetings matter. I want to hear what y'all did while I was gone. Good night. Good night, everybody.